Hey, welcome to another video on Expected Value Lotto, where we look at US scratch tickets and their expected values. And in this video, we're looking at the new Georgia Lottery $10 triple 777 ticket. And yeah, this is part of the December 2023 series of tickets that came out in Georgia last week. And this is a number match game, and there are two symbols that you can look for. There is this 777 symbol that gets you an automatic $25, and then there are the 7 bursts that you can find in the play area. If you get 4 or more, you win the corresponding prize up here in the prize legend. Now here on this page, we're looking at the prize structure and odds that the Georgia Lottery put out on this game. Overall odds are 1 in 3.10, and it looks like you can win anywhere from $10 up to $777,777. And, automatically, whenever I see a ticket themed around a number like this, it automatically raises red flags to me because I feel like states use these number themed games as a gimmick to pay out less than they normally would on a regular ticket. And so, and this is examples of what I'm talking about. So this is not really a good example. So maybe they're paying a little bit more here, 17 instead of 15. Here, maybe they're paying a little bit more, 77 instead of 75. But, it could be that they took some of these $100 prizes and made them $77. That's more likely what they did. Here, $177, so they're doing that instead of 200. Here, 277 instead of 300. Here, 777 instead of 1,000. Here, you can see it instead of 10,000, instead of 100,000, instead of a million. And so, yeah, I mean, we'll see if this holds true, but to me, this feels really, really gimmicky. Also, I noticed that the top 3 prizes just have super long odds. I have no idea why they would do a prize structure like that where it's virtually impossible. I know, we're used to the impossible jackpot, but to have the top 3 prizes be impossible to hit, just I don't know. It just seems cheap, or I don't know. I don't like it. But anyways, so there are some, kind of red flaggish types of things in this prize structure. The other thing that we do need to mention is taxes. In Georgia, for any prize over $5,000, they're automatically going to take out 29.75%. And so I don't view that tax money as part of the value of the game. So this is going to affect how I view this top prize. So instead of what you see there, I am going to view this top prize as, well, actually, it's not just the top prize, it's the top 3 prizes, excuse me. So instead of these top 3 prizes, what you see on the screen there is not what I'm going to use. I'm going to use $5,463, $54,638, and $546,388 for the top prize. So there's a lot of tax being taken out since it's affecting three of the prizes here. So with those adjusted prize amounts, when you run the numbers on this game, you find out that the payout comes in between 75 and 76%. So this is way over the 70% minimum that we look for all tickets. So we'll see how this compares to other $10 tickets as we go through the video and see if they, did kind of cheat customers out of a little bit of payout, or if it's more than average. We'll see. But we do need to mention that this payout does include all of the top prizes and all of the upper mid-tier prizes, which not very many people are going to be winning, which means very few people are going to see 75% payout on this game. So what we want to know is, what is the payout going to be for the average person with average luck who may not be hitting those top prizes? And in order to do that, we're going to subtract out the value of the top 1% of prizes, recalculate, and see what that new payout number is going to be. So looking back here at the prize structure, the separation between the top 1% and bottom 99% of prizes happens at the $77 prize here. So if you're just an average person with average luck, when you do win on this game, you'll expect to see somewhere between $10 and $77. And there at the $77 prize, the split is about 97 to 3. So almost all of these $77 prizes, 97%, do fall here in the bottom 99% of prizes and are available to all people. But there are 3% of these that are going to be included here in the top 1% of prizes. And so you can see over half of the prize structure is in the top 1%. I never like to see that. I don't know. I don't know why they would structure a game like this where half the prize, over half the prize structure belongs to 1% of the people playing. But that's how they decided to do this one. So these top 1% prize, or this top 1% prize category is really hard to hit in. If you want to know the odds of hitting a top 1% prize, look at the overall odds, move the decimal point 2 spaces to the right, and it's about 1 in every 310 tickets that would have a top 1% prize. So you're looking at $3,100 before you would expect to see even one of these top 1% prizes. So that is important to keep in mind if you plan on playing this ticket. So because so few people are going to be winning these top 1% prizes, we're going to subtract the value of all of these prizes out from that payout number you saw before, and that's going to leave us with a payout of just the bottom 99% of prizes, where 99% of people are going to be playing this game. And when we do that, we find out that the payout for the bottom 99% of prizes comes in between, well, just a little bit over 67%. And this, again, is way over the minimum 60% payout that we look for. As a matter of fact, 67% is a pretty strong number here for the bottom 99% payout. So, I think a lot of people are going to be enjoying this ticket because, the average person is getting a little bit more back on this ticket than you would on a normal $10 ticket. So, expect to see a lot of those. I'm going to look back at the prize structure. So expect to see a lot of these $77 prizes, $50 prizes. So it's going to be a fun one, I think. Now here on this page, this is where we're tracking the increases and decreases in Georgia's $10 tickets. And you can see we did get a little bit of a bump on this ticket from the Christmas ticket that came out last month. So yeah, I mean, maybe it is a little bit gimmicky. It's definitely not up there with the top $10 tickets that we have seen, over the years. But it's definitely not the worst. It's kind of right there in the middle of the pack. So, yeah, it's not as gimmicky. The red flag maybe is not as bad as it could have been for sure. So it is nice to see a little bit of a bump. So, whenever there is an increase in value like this, I usually suggest, it might be a good ticket to play just to show appreciation to the Georgia Lottery for increasing value. We always like to see that, and we want to encourage the lottery to keep doing that. And we've seen 2 increases in a row, so that is good. Now, up here in green, if you are playing $10 tickets in Georgia, you see the best ticket in every category. So if you're playing for overall value, the $600 blowout is the best ticket that we've seen in a while. So that would be a good one to start off with. However, this one I'm pretty sure doesn't have like a for real top prize. So if you're looking for a top prize, maybe you would want to look at the next highest number. If you're playing for odds, jumbo bucks, I'm not even going to suggest playing this. This is the worst $10 ticket. I mean, this ticket is a shame. The data point is here. It is by far the worst $10 ticket ever. So please don't play that ticket, even though it has the best odds. That is a total scam right there, that ticket. So pick the next ticket on this list for odds. It maybe like the Price is Right ticket, although that has a pretty low payout as well. But if you're a more conservative player and you want to lose as little money as possible, this 77777 ticket will be the one that you would want to play. You can see 67% is a really strong number. You don't see numbers that high very often on $10 tickets. Then if you're more of a high roller and you like to win a little bit more money when you are lucky enough to hit in the top 1%, the 7 game would be a good ticket for you to play. And then over here on the right, we're keeping track of top prizes. However, I made this PowerPoint presentation like maybe over a week ago, so these numbers could be a little bit dated by now. Now here on this page, we are ranking Georgia $10 tickets based on overall payout. 77777 right here in the middle of the pack, just like we saw on the graph there. So, are there better $10 tickets to play? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, 50x the money to me is probably the best $10 ticket to play in Georgia. It's got a really strong overall payout. However, I think, and we'll see this on the next page, I think it's more of a high roller type ticket. But 77777, right here in the middle of the pack, not the best, not the worst. And here on this screen, we're ranking based on the bottom 99% payout. And yeah, 12th place here, 50x the money. So I mentioned that's a good $10 ticket, but you have to have a little bit of a strong stomach to play it because you could end up losing more money than you would on a normal $10 ticket. But 77777 is number one here at the top, and it's number one by a pretty large margin, 1.5 percentage points. So that's a big deal. That's a lot of money that's being put into the hands of the 99%. But as you can see on the list over here, it only has 8% value in the top, which I don't care so much about as long as the top prize is significant and has decent odds. Now here on this page, this is where we get to compare $10 tickets across states, and you can see 77777 here, the 13th best $10 ticket we've looked at on the channel so far, and Georgia does have relatively competitive $10 tickets when you look at what other states are doing, and it's not even really close. I mean, you've got Georgia, Florida's kind of up there with Georgia. Every now and then we'll get California up there, but overall California's not very good. Texas is horrible. New York is horrible. But we really want to look at the top of the list, and this is where we see all of the Massachusetts $10 tickets. And I mean, this is pretty amazing. You see that Massachusetts regularly has $10 tickets coming out with over 80% payout, which is, that's a really good payout for a $10 ticket. And so, yeah, I mean, we have to ask this question, if Massachusetts can regularly put out $10 tickets at 80% payout and make plenty of money doing it, then why is Georgia putting out $10 tickets at 75% payout? So this is like a 5 percentage point difference, and that might not sound like a lot, but when you think about how much money goes into making just one of these games, it's a lot of money. So, just one of these games can easily have 10 million tickets that make it up. If you multiply 10 million by the $10 price tag, that's $100 million that makes up just one of these games. And 5 percentage points, that's $5 million that the Massachusetts Lottery feels like it can put into the hands of its customers, that the Georgia Lottery is greedily just sticking in its pockets and doing who knows what with. And so, I think we have to ask the question, why would Georgia do that? Why would they keep more money than they really have to? And that question does not have any good answers. It has to do with greed. I think it has to do with how the lottery views its customers. And I think Massachusetts has a much healthier view of its customers than any of the other states, including Georgia. Now, here on this page, we are comparing this bottom 99% payout across states. You can see 77777, very competitive in this list, 6th best overall. And so, yeah, again, I think this is going to be, one that a lot of people like to play. Now, here on this page, these are the top 36 tickets we've looked at on the channel so far for overall payout. And let's see, 75, 85, not good enough to make this list. So 77777 is not here. One thing I do want to point out, though, is that we do have some $5 tickets from Massachusetts on this list. So, Massachusetts $5 tickets, we have several of them here at 76% payout. This new 77777 ticket had a 75% payout. And in my mind, that is just completely backwards and should not ever happen. It should not ever be the case that a more expensive ticket, in this case, this new 777 ticket is double the price of these $5 tickets from Massachusetts. So we have a more expensive ticket with less payout, less valuable. And that should never be the case. I mean, any state that puts out a ticket that costs more than $5 with less than 77% payout should feel embarrassed, because they should not be putting out tickets, that are less valuable than a cheaper ticket from another state. So the very minimum, this goes for every state, the very minimum payout should be 77% for $10 tickets. So my advice is don't play $10 tickets, unless it's at least more valuable than the $5 tickets from Massachusetts. My advice is, scratch tickets are such a bad deal anyways. 80% payout, even though this is good for a $10 ticket, an 80% payout wager is criminal. I mean, it's so bad. And so, you know, the payout on scratch tickets are so bad anyway. If you're playing scratchers, you definitely want to buy the best product possible. And so my advice is, until our states get their act together and are more competitive with what Massachusetts is doing, just find a scratcher you like on social media and buy in on $10 scratchers from Massachusetts and get the best bang for your buck. So that's my advice on $10 tickets. And then here are the top 36 tickets for bottom 99% payout. On this list, 77777 did make it in 22nd place overall, 67% payout. So again, I think a lot of people are going to like this one who are playing it in Georgia. But that's about it for the new Georgia Lottery $10 77777 ticket. While it is an okay ticket by Georgia standards, it's just not where it needs to be. It's got to be a 77% or above. That's the minimum that I would say that I would be able to recommend playing. So I can't recommend it because it's just until it gets over the value of the $5 tickets from Massachusetts. So my recommendation is send your money to Massachusetts where they respect their customers more. But if you are playing this ticket, good luck on it. Hopefully you'll win some prizes in the top 1%. If you do, let us know in the comment section below so we can congratulate you. But thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.